Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of the Season 4 premiere of The 100 on the CW. This week we've seen Season 4, Episode 1, which is called Echoes. And just want to say right off the bat, I'm very happy to be back reviewing this show. I did general reviews on the first and second seasons as I was catching up, and then I reviewed every single episode of Season 3 last year. So I'm a pretty big fan of the show, if you couldn't tell. And not only that, but I have a t-shirt right here, which I think is pretty cool. Let me scoot out a little bit here. I've worn this before, but I still think it's awesome. Got the Lexa and Clark thing going on. And then, of course, I have that Season 1 poster right there, which I still like, but I sort of want to get an updated poster sometime, I think. But yeah, in the 100, it was definitely one of my staple shows reviewing last year. My videos aren't very popular, but the videos I did in the 100, they got some of the most views I've ever gotten. And I was really happy about that because The 100 is one of my favorite shows airing on TV right now. And I was happy to talk about it, and I'm glad to be planning on reviewing every episode this season too. And overall, I was pretty happy with the premiere here. I think it was a really good episode. Really sets us up nicely for what should be a pretty intense and intriguing season. I know I said this last year when Season 3 started, but I think Season 4 has the makings to potentially be the best season yet, Season 3, I still really like, some things were handled a little bit oddly when it came to certain character deaths, but still had a lot of high points, I thought, and it did some, fun world building, I thought, too, and this season looks to be doing more of that, but then we also have, the most threatening situation ever of, just the world ending. So the whole nuclear plant melting down thing, it really provides a good threat, almost like a wall is closing in type of thing. And I'm really excited to see how the show deals with that as it gets further and further into the season. And I just think it could prove and set up to be a really good season with that, what's going on with Rowan and the Grounders. I also really like Echo. Although she is kind of being set up as one of our antagonists for this season, I still like her. I think the actress has done a good job. We'll talk more about that as we get into the episode, though. So overall, I just think this episode kicked off the season really nicely. Let's get into it. We start off, of course, Clark and Bellamy. At first, they're the only ones that really know about the world-ending thing. So they're really kind of debating with each other whether, or when to let the others know. Bellamy is right in thinking that they can't do that now because, there's all this death around them. There's, people losing, those close to them because they're under control from Allie. Now they're dead. The ones that fell off, the tower, different things of that nature. We've even seen some mourning dead bodies who Lexa had killed in Allie's world. And there seem to be quite a few people angry about that, so it looks like Lexa mowed down quite a few of them, which is cool. But yeah, it's definitely a situation that was pretty sensitive, so Bellamy is right in thinking of holding off on it for now, because telling them the world's actually ending in 6 months probably will make them a little bit more unstable. But yeah, so I like that. And, you see that the Clark and Bellamy bond is back, so I like that. They probably trust each other more than anyone, so I like that. We also have Octavia and Indra. They sort of reconnect again. Jasper was, a little bit, off in this episode. He was asking Raven about the effects of Allie. It seemed like he kind of missed being in that city of light, and it's understandable why, despite what Allie's intentions were, how they came about, different things of that nature. She did provide like a peace, no pain and everything, and that's undeniable. So Jasper definitely misses that. Even Raven sort of, lesser so, but she acknowledges, that of course, that part of it was appealing, really. But Jasper, he's actually suicidal in this episode. It seemed like he was actually going to shoot himself and take his own life until Monty sort of interrupted him in time. So it's going to be interesting for Jasper this season, he seems to be he seems to have a little bit more life in him than say how he was during most of season 3. But at the same time, it's going to take something, to sort of really keep him afoot, I think. And when he finds out the world's ending, when Raven discovers all that and such, it says, okay, world's ending anyway, basically. So I'm at least glad to see that Monty and Jasper sort of have their friendship back afloat, so that's good. We also have Kane and Jaha dealing with, their guilt over being controlled and such, and how many people they killed trying to get up the tower and such. Jaha is feeling especially guilty. It's good to have regular Jaha back. He was a pretty solid character, but then he's controlled by Allie through, pretty much all of season 3. So it's good to have the actual character back now. Isaiah Washington's done a pretty good job. He tries to help, but Murphy sort of brushes him off a little bit. Murphy, he's always had a sort of good and bad relationship with Jaha, the Chancellor, as he still calls him. Murphy, meanwhile, I always forget his girlfriend's name, but sort of like the scavenger. They sort of seem to want to keep their connection to stay together more than ever. Murphy says he thinks he can actually sort of trust Bellamy, Clark, and the others because they kind of owe him now, because he did help out a little more than he ever has in season 3. But eventually they decide to go on the run again together when he sees all the chaos going on with Echo and Bellamy and such. I'm sure he'll pop up and probably get involved somehow a little bit later into the season. Now he doesn't know the world's ending now, so that might be a bad thing. I don't think he does he? No. But anyway. And let's talk about Echo again. Echo, she's a character we've seen, in season 2, and she was captured in Mount Weather and such. And I've always liked her. I've always wished she would have more of a role on the show. I just like the look. I think the actress has a very fitting look for the role. And so I like that she's getting an actual key role for this season. I also could see her as a potential, love interest for Bellamy, potentially, if she actually takes a better turn down the right path here. But either way, I'm kind of curious to see what they do with her. I know a lot of people are expecting Clark and Bellamy right now, Ballark or whatever, but yeah, I'm still sort of mixed on that. I could go either way with that, but we don't need to talk about ships right now. I like that Echo sort of got a lot of focus in this episode. They're so mistrusting to Clark and the others, to Sky Crew, because of they see them as more responsible for what Allie was doing and such, bringing her, and I don't know, she's definitely not justified in completely putting it all on them. So I hope they don't just keep her a complete villain in the season, but again, we'll see. Even to the point where she doesn't want him to heal Rowan, who is still shot, but he's actually potentially alive. She kills the ambassador, almost decapitates her actually, but we see blood come down from the throat. And this leads to Bellamy sort of creating a distraction, acting as if they're surrendering, because Bellamy seems like someone she still respects to some extent anyway, or at least is willing to listen to him as the voice of Sky Crew and such, because of how they helped each other in Mount Weather and such. Meanwhile, Clark, Abby, and the others are sneaking to try and heal Rowan, because Clark believes he'll still vouch for him or protect them because of their prior experiences together. It's good to see that Zach McGowan actually ends up keeping his role on the show, because he's a pretty good actor. I really like him on Black Sails. You guys should watch that show if you haven't, but so it's good to see him taking an even bigger role this season too, which we'll talk about more in a couple minutes. Clark ends up telling, along with Bellamy, of what's going on with the reactors and such. And then we have Rowan, right as Echo's about to, slit Clark's throat or something. Rowan wakes up, tells her to stop. And we get a little break, though. We see Monty and Harper in bed with each other. They started a relationship last season. And, this is one, we don't get many scenes like this in The 100, but it was nice. It's good to see Monty have someone like that. Harper's getting a little bit more concentration now, which is good. She's been there since season 1, and she got a little bit of time in season 3, but it's good to see her becoming more of a character now, which I like. Talked about the Jasper stuff, as well as Raven. Raven, again, she tested everything out, like what Ali is saying, and it is true. They have about 6 months before, it's going to be completely unsurvivable. But it'll be very, very, very dangerous before then, too, of course. And Echo, she's speaking to Rowan. She still doesn't trust, Clark or the others, and believes he should show strength in front of the reward chiefs. Decapitate one Heda, hold her head, and her power will be in him, and then he'll be more respected because a lot of the grounders of the Ice Nation aren't going to follow him. And we also have a nice scene of when Clark and the others are being held. Abby comforts Clark, over Lexa. I like that Lexa isn't like erased from the show, I don't know if we're really going to see her again. Maybe they'll get Alicia Dedman and Gary to guest star, when the series is ending or something along those lines, maybe. But even if she doesn't appear again, I still like that she's a key part of the show and its time, no matter what happens with Clark in the future, Lex is always going to remain a pervert, so I like that here. Clark warns Lex, Abby comforts her. And then we have a good conversation between Clark and Rowan. Rowan's still willing to hear her out, which is good. And Clark ends up giving him the flame, to really solidify that he can lead his people in front of the others. And Rowan actually ends up reinstating with them as the 13th clan, which is good. It still seems like Echo is disagreeing with him, and she still might be a problem a little bit down the road in the season. But we'll see. Looks like she's going to be at least around quite a bit, which is good. Either way she goes, like I said, I kind of like seeing the character. And we also have a good moment between Kane and Bellamy here. Kane telling Bellamy to turn the page, do better the next day, things of that nature, which is sound advice. Not to just focus on everything he's done, focus on what he's going to do now. And I say a lot, I know. And let's see here. And then we have, we see that radiation is really getting close already. It's in the desert area that Jaha was traveling through, and he was trying to find the City of Light in season 2, I think it was, yeah. And this woman, and she's just fried by the radiation, And it probably requires a big amount of their budget to have that CG effect, so I wonder how much they're actually use it in this season. But overall, a really good premiere. Like I said, I think it kicked off the season really well. As far as the radiation threat, I don't think it'll become as big of a factor until maybe around the mid-season or after. Until then, I think we have planned to focus on with Rowan and Echo and such. I think it's off to a really nice start either way. And when that thing does become more of a factor, it'll certainly make for an intense few episodes for sure. Or it might even affect the whole show until the end of the series. Who knows? It should. Because our survivors are great, but they're not superheroes. They're not going to find a way to completely stop it. So it's going to be interesting to see how they survive it. And I also like that Rowan acknowledged Lexa as the last true sort of commander or ruler like that. So that was nice too. But let me know what you guys thought about the premiere. Like I said, I thought it was pretty awesome. I'm giving it a 9.3, 9.4 out of 10. You guys can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to be doing every episode of the season, so looking forward to that. Hope you guys have a good night, and peace.